Hey everybody, Tim and Chucky here for another DC animated movie. The third movie, Batman Gotham Knight, came out 2008. To give a little bit of backstory, I don't know how much of it you watched, but in the 90s, everybody's kind of familiar with the Timverse, which I love for obvious reasons. It was Batman the Animated Series, Superman, Static Shock, Justice League, Batman Beyond, the Zeta Project, all sorts of stuff. And so after that, Kevin Conroy kind of retired from Batman. When this came out, he basically kind of came out of retirement, and now he's been doing it ever since. Like, he was actually just in, like, one of the live action shows. Like, he actually played Batman live action for the first time in, like, The Flash or something. So, we get all that. So this is, it's actually 6 shorts, and they're done in, like, an anime style. Now, do you like anime?
Not really, but
not really. Okay.
And people are trying to get me into it, so I'm like trying to watch more of it.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody.
I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. That was my. That was the only one I really, really liked.
Okay, Yu Yu Hakusho is great. Which actually I'll bring that up a little bit. So I love anime. Like, I have several tattoos of animes and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. So for you, that's not really a big fan of that particular style.
No, that was fucking cool though, to see Batman in a different light like that. That was dope. That
awesome.
Was really cool.
Okay, because I was a little nervous about that.
Because each of the kids in the first one,
right?
All of the Batmans looked extremely different,
right?
And they all were like fucking ridiculous.
Which we'll just jump right into it. So the first story, Have I Got a Story for You? It's 4 little kids, each telling their own version, and I think that's kind of the point. Is that, like, little kids are kind of unreliable, like when they tell a story about it. Yeah. And so, but yeah, like you said, like, one was the shapeshifter, one had wings, and then one looked like
an actual bat.
Yeah, yep. And then one kind of looked like almost like Iron Man. Like, where he just drops down.
He was like a robot. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. So, but I liked it though, and then I like the kids. So you are a skater. Like, I mean, just looking at you.
I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah,
that part.
So I kind of always imagine you as the kid at the end, where Batman's like doesn't see the villain at the end, and the kid just whacks him with the skateboard. Like, that's kind of, I imagine you being like, Batman's in trouble! Whack! Yeah. Whack him with your longboard.
I probably would.
Yeah. You're a good guy. Yeah.
I like people.
So that one, the second one's kind of the slowest to me, Field Test, where it's just the cops on the island.
That was interesting, though. I don't know too deeply into, like, most of these storylines. So, like, this is all, like...
And there's not much to go... Like, so... Let's see. What was So the first story was Superman Doomsday. That was completely based off of a comic. And then...
Still I've never seen.
What was the second one? I already forgot. Oh, Justice League New Frontier. Again, based off of a comic. This is all brand new stuff. Like, this was its own thing. There's rumors that this is supposed to take place in the Christopher Nolan universe. Like, takes place between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. But, did you ever watch the original Halloween?
Like the first Halloween?
Yeah. So, because, like, in the beginning, like, where the inmates are just wandering the grounds, that's kind of what it reminded me of for the second story.
Forgot about that.
But
you mentioned it.
But instead of, like, just wandering the grounds, it's a whole fucking island.
We should do some horror movies too.
I'd totally be down for that. Crossfire, the bullet, ricocheting bullet thing, the magnet.
That was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I was like, that should be in an actual Batman movie.
And I agree. Like, it's kind of weird. And then I also like how they got rid of it, because, like, he's using it and he's like, oh, this is great. Like, people can't even shoot me. But then it ricochets and shoots somebody else by accident. And he's like, oh,
that could fuck up somebody
now
else.
It's going to be
bad.
It's
bad. Unless it's just enemies in the room, and then I wouldn't turn it on. But why have it on your armor if you're never going to use it?
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite stories is In Darkness Dwells, where it's Killer Croc, who I love. Killer Croc.
He didn't look anything like a crocodile. He just looked like a big, like, Land Before Time mess of a thing.
And I agree, and I think part of that's the anime thing.
Yeah.
So I think there's 2 parts to that. I think part of it's the anime style, and part of it is this is trying to keep it in the real world, which is why they say, like, oh, he's infected by this, like, natural disease,
27
like,
syllable
thing.
fucking word.
Yeah, so
no one should ever be able to pronounce, but he did.
like without it like going. So I think they were trying to keep it more real. Like it's just this guy covered in scales and he sharpens his teeth rather than like the Killer Croc we know, where he's like a full blown mutant.
Yeah, like full on.
So
big ass crocodile.
And then, but I liked how they at least kept it in there, because this is out of the stories the first one where we see like a villain we know, and then we see Scarecrow as well.
Yeah, and then then Deadshot comes in at the end,
which we'll get to that one. But before we get to that one, we got Working Through Pain, which was really long, but it's the one where like it's going back and forth in time, where he's like, you feel so bad for Batman, where he's like climbing up the ladder and then he falls.
Yeah.
And, like finds all these guns in the garbage. But then on the flip side, we're seeing young Bruce Wayne like learning to not feel pain. And it's like, that one felt so long to me. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the longest out of all of these videos.
I think it was.
And then, like you said, the last video is Deadshot. I always get Deadshot and Deathstroke mixed up. Like, it's really hard.
I do it too.
Like, so Deadshot is that one. Deathstroke is Slade Wilson. I know that. Okay. As long as I can keep it in my brain. Because, like, one of them's in Smallville, one of them's in Titans. Like, I don't know, it's hard. Which you brought up Yu Yu Hakusho. When I saw Bruce Wayne in this one, he looked like Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, that's the type of anime style it looked like to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this is all. Because they're all very, very different. And I was like, oh, this is just weird. But the whole thing is very reminiscent of like the Animatrix. Several stories, all different anime. It is what it is. So overall, for somebody who doesn't like anime that much or still learning about it, new to anime. Let me rephrase it. How's that?
I wouldn't say new. But
what the fuck ever. What did you think overall?
I liked it a lot, actually.
Okay. What would be your favorite story and your least favorite story out of the 6?
Honestly, I did like how he was learning how to deal with the pain. I thought that was a really interesting story. It did feel like it dragged a bit, but I did like that one a lot. I don't really know if there was one I didn't like a lot.
And that's fine. I mean, that's good news.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Because like I said, I think my favorite...
Like I said, it's Batman in a different light for me.
Yeah, and that's good. That's what these movies are supposed to be.
And I'm a fucking sponge right now, dude.
Yeah,
so
and
it's hard
good
for me to not like it. That Justice League movie felt fucking slow.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of passing out during it. That's why I was like, okay, so this didn't keep my brain like...
All right.
Super all day.
But then, and I agreed with that, but I also on the same side, like it's really interesting animation.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was sucked into the whole thing for the most part.
And that's fine. I mean, not all of these movies are going to be great. There's going to be hits, there's going to be misses, and that's the whole point, is to see, like, for people who don't read comic books very often, or are still kind of new to them, learning about them, like, these movies do a great job of, like, adapting the animation style as well.
Yeah.
To kind of show you this is what it's like.
Yeah.
But, okay. So I'm glad you did like it. So that's cool.
I did like it.
I'm curious what you guys think, if you guys have seen this one at all, what your favorite story is, what your least favorite story is, and we will see you guys next time for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.